have shacks and, a little paran ban. Merry Christmas, season's greetings, compliments of the season to you all across Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. And if you don't celebrate the Christmas season, you don't acknowledge it, or, it's a little painful for you, whatever works for you, right? So I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and welcome to Book Club Corner, where every Wednesday, well, this is the last one, right? But every Wednesday we've been chatting with local authors about the literary arts, about their book and their love for the written word. And of course, today is no different. We'll be chatting with a local author called Latoyaa Roberts. And she is, let me tell you, she is the writer of the book collection of poems. She is the communications consultant. I don't want to tell you where. Right, we're going to keep that a secret. She's an editor at Books by LR, a co-owner of Lamb's Best Mart, and she is the managing consultant at LRT Media and Business Solutions, a member of the Caribbean Creators Network, and a member of the TNT Artist Registry, right? And she is also a member of the Tobago Writers Guild.
I am.
Latoyaa, welcome. And I see you have on the festive colors.
Of course. Compliments of the season to you.
Thank you. And we have some sorrel wine today. Listen, we're going to get into everything today. It is the season finale. I want to thank those who have been viewing, sharing, tuning in, reading the books, buying the books, supporting our local authors for the last 25 weeks, right? We've been at this for 25 weeks. So congratulations to all the authors who have been on, and congratulations to all the authors to come. But I hope that we will buy some Christmas gifts that are books for our children, for our friends, for ourselves. Give to yourself something productive and good for this Christmas season, and get a book. Just remember, I don't want you all to forget this. Just remember, there are 6 months in January, guys, coming up. Because I know you all like to spend for Christmas, right? Don't forget the 6 months of January. And you'll need some funds for that too, right? So while you're buying your books, all the bibliophiles out there, when we get in the bookstore, we buy. Just remember, January is coming. There'll be a tomorrow. Don't spend out all your money today, okay? Okay, guys, just letting you know. I just want to put that out there. Be moderate in your spending, in your eating, and enjoy your Christmas season. Latoyaa,
Yes.
we have plenty to talk about.
A lot, definitely.
This book collection of poems. Well, we read this for our book club, right? So there's the Tobago Book Club, and we read this year.
Yes,
and
you did.
We had a little meetup, and we didn't get to drink and eat like we like to. But we had a meetup this year to talk to you about your book. So this is extra for me. I'm getting to do this twice.
Great.
But what I want to talk to you about, apart from writing a book of poetry, because I feel, for me, poetry is nothing easy to get into.
No, it's not.
But for some people, it's just like riding a bike. It's something that comes really natural to some of them, right? Tell me about why you decided to write a book of poetry.
Sure. So, Joelle, a lot of my work within the field of communication means that I've been writing pretty much long extended prose all my life, I will say. But I just decided to try a different genre, do something a little bit unique, a little bit different out of my comfort zone. So it required me to adapt my writing style a bit, definitely. It also required me a bit to be creative in the words. It's easy to put a full sentence or paragraph together most times, but sometimes when you're trying to convey your ideas into poetry, into poem, it really takes you to understand your process and also how persons will interpret what you read. Because many times poetry could have a lot of interpretation that might be different from the purpose that the author wanted to at the point in time. But I enjoyed writing, and the thing about it is, once you start writing poetry, it just flows. Once you get the hang of 1, 2, 3, you end up with 70. And then you're like, oh, right, this is a book.
I can't agree, because I'm not a poet by nature. When I start to write a poet, listen, it's be like, oh my God, I'm not a poet. So I just look at you poets and I'll be like, how did they do it? And you have some precious ones in here, let me tell you. Guys, this is a book that is easy to carry, small. Listen, I know there are some big volumes out there, and hats off, kudos to the big volumes. But you see, when you're traveling and you're reading, you want something you could throw in your handbag, your suitcase, your briefcase, whatever it is you're moving with. You want something you could throw in it quick, and you could sit down on the plane or wherever you are, the taxi, the maxi, and you could sit down and have a good read. Right?
Yes.
So this is one of those volumes. You can have a really quick read with this collection of poems by Latoyaa Roberts. It's, listen, fantastic. I saw this poem while I was looking through your book.
Which
Right?
poem is that?
You know which one, I told you.
Oh.
Online advocacy.
So let me let the viewers understand.
23.
You know, when I did the book is categorized in 5 thematic areas. Because the thing with poetry is that you kind of write based on content themes.
Mm-hmm.
So the book has 5 themes areas, and it's really important to know. The first one has to do with woman, because I'm a woman myself, so woman in society is one. Then the second theme is civil society movements. So the poem that you like is in there.
You don't run ahead.
Don't run you.
Don't run ahead.
So just get to the book.
Yeah, let's not run ahead, because listen, I'm getting into all of that. But this online advocacy,
Okay.
I have to say, you really touched on something I found was what we in this time deal with all the time,
Okay.
right? So the poem starts with Siri, and when I was like,
So
is she advocating for Apple?
no, I'm not
What's happening
advocating
here?
for Apple. But let's read the poem and let's get in and see.
Tell
So it
me.
says, Siri, can you find a vote I can see? I didn't get that. Did you mean advocacy? Oh yes, that is what I meant. Advocacy, public support for a recommendation of a cause or policy. Activists, civil organizations use the word to explain their actions before it was letters, protests, meetings with the minister. Nowadays, everybody's busy with their fingers. Click, click, click. Hashtag, emoji. Tweet, post, or submit. Digital advocacy is the new manuscript. Every individual now has a voice online. Technology has become every advocate's best friend. Devices available with messages to send. Cell phone, tablet, desktop, smartwatch and TV. No excuse to get online. Tweets, lives, and the stories. We are bombarded with so much information and fallacies. Being online is good and sexy, but you also need to consider digital privacy. Cyberbullying, getting hacked, censorship, and stealing your identity. So be careful with your Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, or Twitter. Sometimes social media can make you a blacklister. The story of the story is what is important. Whether you are online or offline, conscious change in a society by a vote will affect you and me.
I love this poem. I think I love this poem more than all the poems that you wrote because of the message, right? A lot of times people go online and, they're cyberbullies.
Yes, they are.
They don't know it, right? I know sometimes you all don't intend to, but you all go on there and you tell people all sorts of things about the mummies and the daddies on the internet because nobody can see you. But, let's change for 2024. Let's use the internet, let's use the platforms for, as you say, advocacy. Tell us, because I know you do quite a bit of work in advocacy as
Yes,
well.
I do.
So, heading off, just tell us, explain to the viewers, what is advocacy? And in your own words, what advocacy is and how we can use as authors, right, as writers, how we can use that platform and how you've used it to help any causes that you think, even as a woman, that may need your voice.
Well, I believe advocacy is when you have a cause and you're definitely speaking out for it. You're challenging probably a statement or norm about it. And I think at the end of the goal for advocacy is you need some sort of change or movement. So if you're speaking out about something and there's no action, there's no call to action or change or movement, whether it's a policy decision or it's to convince a few people in your network to support the cause or rally around something, So advocacy is that when you believe in a cause, there must be a cause. Just opening your mouth doesn't necessarily mean it's advocacy, right? There needs to be some set of cause. There need to be beneficiaries or persons that it's going to impact. And then you definitely have to want a change. You definitely want to refresh the system or change something that is happening.
Yeah. I'm gonna put out there to you guys, 2024 is coming around. People are looking for, the resolutions. What do I want to change about my life? Find a cause, perhaps something you're already dealing with, right? And devote yourself to that, to making a change, making the world a better space. As this poem is talking about online advocacy, the internet, those platforms are fantastic for making sure that you make a positive change, or at least put your voice towards that positive change. And we want to definitely look at positivity, whether it's helping a local business, whether it's supporting authors. We want to always uplift our community and uplift ourselves in the society to make sure that we're looking at something positive. And if it's a negative, how can we make a good move to turn that negative into a positive? Yeah, before we go any further, I watching the wine.
We could have a sip. We could have a sip to online advocacy.
Yeah, we're having some sorrel wine today, and I'm going to cheers today. It's our season 1 finale, right? So we're celebrating that we've had 25 good seasons, 25 authors. But apart from that, I want to celebrate all our authors out there. You have been doing such a fantastic job for 2023. Writing, advocating for your book, advocating for your voice. Cheers to you, Latoyaa.
Cheers. The sorrel tastes good.
We usually do the 5 S's, but this is a wine we've had before.
Okay.
So I'm not even going to bother. I know it's good, right? This is from Joe Field Wines. This is their sorrel, right? Joe Field, thank you so much. We've had some great sponsors over the 25 weeks, and we want to thank Joe Field, one of them, Marlene Sharp for her wine, Stacy Herbert. We've had such Gemma in Canaan, my good friend Gemma. We've had such good advocacy with the sponsorship. So I just want to tell you all thanks, and we support you. Get your wines for this Christmas season, your punch, your creme, all your drinks, stock up, guys. Let's get back into this. Woman in society, Latoyaa. Woman in society.
So this is the first theme of the book, and this thematic area is really passionate for me because as a woman, there are expectations that go with womanhood, I suppose. There are the norms, there are the values, there are the challenges, there are the highs, there are the lows. So this segment actually features 9 poems, and some are really dark. And not dark in a negative, but it speaks about violence against women. It speaks about the issues women face, but some are also about empowerment, lifting other women up, praising women. Some are about me admiring women that I saw in my society while growing up. So one is actually a tribute to my mother. It's called Becoming My Mother.
Hi, Mom.
So there are a variety of poems that deal with the essence, what it means to be a woman.
Yeah, and when we say we want to, when I say I want to focus on the positives, it's not that, we don't want to talk about the negatives, because sometimes talking about a negative can bring about a positive, right? Sometimes you overeat and you need to get stuff out, and you feel better after. If you're going through something, writing about it is the best way to get over it. It's very cathartic, guys. You should get into journaling and writing for 2024. Let me tell you, and it can start now, right? That could be your Christmas present to yourself. Writing even about the negatives, just to get it off your chest, right? Get it out of your system. It's fantastic. And when we went into your poems, right? This woman in society, there was a particular poem. Let me see, Struggles of a Single Woman. That wasn't the one. Was it females at the back? That wasn't it. Let me tell you, all my book club members and all they're watching out there saying, we know which one, right? I am becoming my mother. Do you remember that one?
My mom.
I am becoming my mother. Let's get into that. A lot of times for women, we have to deal with some of the realizations that we are now coming into as we get older. Tell me some of the things for you that this poem represents that perhaps you told yourself, I will never be like that?
Well, I know, right? So this poem, I'm Becoming My Mother, is a reflection of all the things that I saw my mom will do in the household while growing up. And now the reality is that I'm a mother. I'll have to do those things. Yeah. So I think that is what it entails. But then the opposite is I also have a poem, A Woman's Role in the Home. Is like a flip version of that because it's nothing of the values that my mother had.
Yes.
While I saw growing up. But it's now where I see myself in the home and my role.
Life is continually evolving.
I know.
You know, what women were, what we did, who we became, 50 years ago, it's kind of nowhere close, right? Our society is moving so quickly. We have had to keep up too, right? And they have had to keep up with us as we go out there and work and do let me tell you, conquer the world, right? Like King Kong. Right? They have had to keep up with us. Listen, guys, we're going on a quick break. Latoyaa and I are going to continue sipping and chatting. Please come back with us. We're going to be talking about some themes in her book. But as you go on your break, Latoyaa,
cheers.
Thank you for being here. We'll see you in a few minutes, guys. Bye. Welcome back, viewers across Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. Thank you for tuning in to Book Club Corner today. I am Jewel Greene, and we're here today with a wonderful, amazing local author called Latoyaa Roberts, and her book is called A Collection of Poems. Latoyaa, welcome back. While we were on the break, we were just going through this book and the themes. Let me just get into the themes for you, all right? So we have here part 1, Women in Society, Civil Society Movements, that's part 2, part 3, Inspiration and Motivation, part 4, Exploring the World, and part 5, Roots and Identity. Latoyaa, why these 5 thematic areas? Why did you pick these, or why did these emerge? Tell me if they did. Did it emerge after you wrote the poems, or did you sit and say, I'm writing under these themes?
I think majority of the poems were done, and then I looked at the patterns and the order and the content there is, and the themes emerged. That was my process. It wasn't about selecting the themes first and then writing.
That's so organic. So, whatever that inspiration poured out of you,
yes,
you put it down and then you looked at it and say, okay, this is what the art is.
Yes, definitely.
I tell you, your poet's amazing, I don't even know how you'll do it. Guys, this book is, let me tell you how many pages. This book is 67 pages, right? Well, it's 70 at the end, but up to where, right there, poems. 67 pages, 69, sorry.
69.
And let me tell you, every page packed with some great content. There's not a wishy-washy book, There's not one of those. This is not a wishy-washy.
No, it's not.
This book is full of content, solid content. Let's get into that poem that we talked about.
So the average person who knows me knows that I don't really like traditional housework, the traditional title of what a woman should be like.
Let me get comfy for this one.
So this poem is entitled A Woman's Role in the Home. I am not a traditional woman and would never be. My body was not automatically programmed to cook food, clean, wash wares, or clothes. I did this out of common courtesy. A woman's place is in the home, some ignorant ones will say. And when we aspire to earn a living, once it's not in the home, we seem out of place. Working a 9 to 5 to make ends meet is a true reality. Then coming home to labor a second job is also the expectation of society. But who creates these norms and demands upon the woman? Unfortunately, we were socialized and brainwashed this way. Now that we are trying to step out of this male-dominant program, we must retrain our minds to realize that there must be gender balance. A man's place in the home is equally important as the opposite sex. Together, we both bring income, wash the wares, and discover our talents. So, the next time someone utters a woman's place is in the home to me, with a simple smile and a calm response, I will reply, that is not how I want my life to be.
I love that. That was so sweet. After all of this, I can't say enough about this poem. This really embodies how many women are dealing with the constraints and expectations of society, right? A lot of people, we're not bashing you, but a lot of women went and spent out the whole salary getting curtains and trees and getting new mats for the kitchen and sorting the space out because this is what, people expect. But I will challenge women today. Don't just do what's expected. Do what you expect of yourself. Dig deep and look and see who you are, what your goals are. You're not just here to support other people. Your goals are also important. How did this poem come to you? Was there a pivotal moment? Somebody get you vexed, throw more waste in the sink, and you say, you see this damn thing?
I think for me, I very rarely cook. Anybody who knows me knows that I eat out a lot and I don't really like to cook. And I will take care of things in the home when I want to do it, but I also balance it with my dreams and the things I want to do. And I think when you're looking for a partner or when you're building your household values, I think it's about finding that balance. Nobody could say the man's place is outside and the woman's place is in the home to me. That doesn't work for me. I see both of us in the home and both of us are outside. And I just wanted to reflect that in my writing.
I love that. It's really important, as you say, for you to develop your own values, your relationship values and goals.
Yes.
Not to take other people's, but develop your own. And you did that. And I like that because you're looking at this poem and we're seeing who is Latoyaa, right? What her views are. And I love that you can cook, but you don't have to cook. It's like, what did you... I did this out of common courtesy. I had to tell somebody that once in my life, It's don't be getting on because I didn't do it. It was say thanks that when I did it, right?
Definitely.
Don't be catching an attitude. You're not gonna get nothing after that, right? So I like that about this poem. We want to get into more of this book. You know which one I want? There is a sweet one in the back because we love our Calypso Rose up in here. We love soca. We love our culture. We support locals. Calypso Rose is one of Tobago's greats, one of Trinidad and Tobago. She's an international star and right here from Bethel Village. If you did not know, let me put this in your pipe and smoke it, people. Calypso Rose is from Bethel Village in Tobago, right? A woman who is pushing the boundaries, not just because she can, but because she must. She just has that fire in her. Latoyaa, this Calypso Rose poem, short and sweet.
Because it's an ode, so within the book have different types of poetry writing styles. So ode is usually a short poem, usually no more than 10 lines. It's usually 10 lines. It doesn't necessarily have a rhyming pattern. You can decide on your own rhyming pattern, but you want to keep it short, sweet, no more than 10 lines. The first sentence is usually very short and the sentence progresses as you go along in the rhythm pattern of the poem.
Yeah. And just for you guys out there.
And it's a pay tribute to somebody, so it's a praise. Venerate the person for what they did.
Latoyaa, take it away, please.
Let's have a drink to this.
That's right.
So the title of the poem is Ode to Calypso Rose. Oh Calypso Rose, give me more tempo. Oh Calypso Rose, the best performer in the show. Throughout history as the mother of Calypso, powerful on stage from the age 13, fighting for racism, sexism, and social change. Fallen petals of the rose, but beauty remains in your lyrics and prose. Fire in my wire, I thank thee. Leave me alone and Calypso Queen. The music legend, we give you much homage.
Fire in my
wire. So I just reflected on some of the songs that I remember growing up, the ones that were there.
That's one of the popular ones. Listen, you hear that every time for Carnival. I love it. Fire in my wire. I'm not going to start to sing, guys, please.
Neither me.
Don't clutch your
I'm not a singer, I'm a writer.
Exactly. Don't clutch your pearls. I'm a singer, I'm a vocalist, but don't clutch your pearls. We leave that for J-Soul, right? J-Soul is the singer in the bunch here. But I love that you chose Calypso Rose to just uplift her in this poem. Why did you pick her?
I grew up listening to different types of music, and I believe in always embracing your culture, your history. And for me, I think she was one of those artists that really stood out. And I know that she's going through a difficult period when I was writing this book. I know series of illness, etc. But I still think that we always need to praise those icons. And this segment of the book is Roots and Identity. So she definitely needs to find her space there in my book.
Give them their flowers while they're still here. Oh my gosh, I love it. Latoyaa, I looked at this cover as a bibliophile.
Yes.
As an author, we start from the front of your book. We pick it down till the back of the book. I wonder why they use these colors. Oh, this is pretty. This is how we approach books, right? Why? What is this? Is this a painting? Is this something you did? What is it?
So the cover of the book was designed in conversation with an artist, Maxi Navarro. And because the book is an anthology, it's basically an anthology of my life. When you read the book, you actually see my life journey as a person in all the different categories in the book. So
it's a memoir in poems.
Exactly so.
I love that.
So this kind of mirage represents life. Sometimes it's rough and it's bumpy. But then it has its smooth, there's a blending of color. And one thing to notice, the book, even though it's a collection of poems, a significant part of my book is that I did it in collaboration with the artist Stormly Roberts. And in each of the beginning of each segment actually has artistic pieces. So like the one in Under Woman in Society, this is actually like my understanding of me when I was younger and pregnant with my first daughter. So that goes there. Then in this segment also, there's a one with that's called Struggle. This was a personal incident that happened in my life, and I reflected it through there. And the poem is called Silence, that complements it. But then when you continue moving along, under civil society movements, there's a artwork that deals with civil protest. So the book is poetry, but there's also art to complement the different thematic areas in the book that speaks to different poems. And all the art pieces was also inspiration by me discussing with the artist my emotions, the passions, the feelings that come out with the poems associated with the book. So not only do you get words in the book, but you also get to appreciate art that complements the pieces in the book.
I love that. And I always tell people, listen, adults love pictures too. We love graphics too. Why only leave the pictures for the little children? we love pictures too. So when I see books, right, that have art accompanying the words, I am super excited because it lends to one collaboration.
Yes.
Right? As well as it helps to give you that visual push in terms of what the author is thinking, right? Where the author's mind is. Because as you rightly said earlier, poetry has many interpretations.
Yes, it does.
It's I mean, writing as well, but poetry too, because you may write one thing thinking, okay, this is what I'm saying, and you know, somebody else reads it, and that's not what I heard. I heard something else, right? And you're like, how, right? But it's so subjective that you can get so many things out of it. So I like that you use this as a cover to say, you know, this is a graphic representation and abstract of what life is. Yes. Sometimes it's smooth and it looks like anybody out there into textile design, right? I'm into textiles. So when I saw it, I said, oh, look, marbling.
Possibly so.
Yeah, this looks like when you're doing marbling on fabrics and you put,
it does, but it also represents the human organism. Like if you have a cell and it's under a microscope, and it's
the mitochondria,
and it's just merging. So it for me it represented that kind of life and that kind of merging. But it's also very abstract art also.
Yes, I really love this. I couldn't get enough of it, to be honest. Any colors here are your favorite colors? Because I'm seeing
I'm a bit of a pink person actually. Growing up, everybody knew that I always liked to wear pink. So I was like, there must be a bit of hint of pink and purple, but not too much pink. Yeah. Because I've grown out of that pink stage. That.
But, you know, colors represent different things, and pink represents the feminine most times, and blues represent the masculine. So I kind of like that you, in this you gave space to both. So
Yes.
it kind of given space to the feminine, space to the masculine, but yet still they're still merging in some areas. You see that aquamarine coming through, and I really like that. And there's some white. We're seeing some of the sinews and tissues.
Yes.
We're seeing a lot here. You know, book covers are so telling. So when you pick it up, authors, just remember, when people pick up your books in the bookstore, they are going to be looking at your book cover because that's your first representation of the book, right? They're going to be looking at it and wondering,
What it means.
yeah, what's happening? What's
Yeah.
happening here? What is what I was thinking? Do I identify with them? So think, very carefully about your book cover. Give it a lot of thought. Just as much as you're putting into the words, put it into the book cover
And
as
I
well.
think when persons finish read the book, they go back to the cover and they can get their own interpretation of what it meant for
I
them.
love that. Listen, they're telling me I'm out of time, but I have to ask you. Because I'm looking two things. The back of the book, right, where you have your book blurb and then you have something about yourself. So two things before we go quickly. Tell us about how important it was for you to write a book blurb that authors people who are reading the book or would want to pick up your book and read it, right? And what informed you when you were doing your back cover?
So for me, self-publishing is important if you're not going under a traditional publishing house, etc., where people automatically gravitate to that publishing house no matter what book they put out. I think your back cover really helps to give information about you as the author. It also gives a strong synopsis of your book. So I think your synopsis should be about 100 to 150 words. Very short. When people read this, they'll say, yes, I have to pick up the book and read more. So that is what the first paragraph is about. And then the second paragraph is about me as an author, because it was the first time I was self-publishing. Nobody in the world knows who Latoyaa Roberts is, but it was my opportunity to give my space and my voice as an author so persons know who they're reading and what they intend to get from the book.
Well, we know who Latoyaa is.
Now we know.
No, we always knew. We always knew who Latoyaa is. A great author, an awesome person, smart like a whip. Let me tell you, you don't want me to start reading all the accolades she has, right? We will not leave here today. They'll turn off the lights and put us out. But when you're writing your book, you have to know that, your small community is not where your book is going to end up, right? It may start there, but you want to make sure that a person picking up your book can read about you. And what do you want to tell them about you, right? That's what you need to put in the back of the book. And many times, let me just put it out there, authors, many times I've had this conversation with you all. You all don't want to put yourself out there. It's a problem, right? You don't want to put anything in the back of the book. Nobody must. So how they will know about your greatness, right? How they will know about the awesomeness that you are bringing to the authorship and the publication space. You have to put something in the back there. So I love that you have a real cute little picture, right? And a book blurb and something about you. I really love that. But before we go, I just want to tell you guys, Latoyaa, tell them where they can get your book, how they can contact you, please.
Sure. So currently you can get my book on Amazon, and this is especially for my international audience because I have actually a wide international following that follow my book all the way to Asia, Middle East, etc. So they purchase online. But locally here in Tobago, you can get my book at my store Lamb's Best Mart, or you can contact, I have a small book agency called Books by LR that I also work with other authors who want to self-publish. So you can go to the website and order the book there.
Very good. Give them a number they can call.
Definitely, you can call 732-7630, and I look forward to all the calls.
Awesome.
Great Christmas gift.
Yes.
Very light, very affordable.
Correct. And you can pair this if you want to give them multiple books, right? You can pair this with a number of books. We are having a giveaway. Before we go, we're having a giveaway today, and we're giving away 3 books. Latoya's book, A Collection of Poems, is going to be one of those books. They're also going to be that book that won the Bocas Children's Book Prize. And Nancy and the Fire Ants, that's one of the books we're giving away, plus the Tobago imprint. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page or Instagram. That's Book Club Corner TT, Facebook, Instagram. Make a comment, like us, share us with somebody else. See? And the first person to do it is getting all 3 books as a...
Wow, all 3.
All 3. I'm not separating it. You're getting all 3. This book included, right? And the other 2 books are going to be our Tobago in print book. This is by the Tobago Writers Guild. And the other book is going to be a Nancy and the Fire Ants. That book is coming in tomorrow with the author when he hits Tobago this evening. He's getting into Tobago. Garnet are selling out all your itinerary. Right, he's going to be back in Tobago because he's migrated to Barbados. But we're out of time, guys. We want to thank you for tuning in with us today. It's been a lovely season. It's been a lovely time with you. Thank you for being here with us, Latoyaa.
Thank you, Joelle, for doing this.
And cheers to you.
Compliments of the season.
Thank you. We cheers to you authors out there and all our readers. Thank you for staying with us. And until we're back with season 2 of Book Club Corner, get your books, get some wine, sit in a nice area, and do some reading. We'll see you soon.